no balls fall. You want good words? Data languages.
Talk real sports with a real man.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
And now, here's the be-all, end-all, know-it-all of high school, college, and pro sports. Aaron Skinny Count with the Skinny on Sports.
We're talking about practice, man. I'm the MVP.
Good Rother Brothers Monday out there, Western Oklahoma. Welcome to the Skinny on Sports, right here on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal. Glad to have you along for the next hour as we hang out here in the studio. Big 12 Media Days coming up this week, tomorrow and Wednesday. Which day is more interesting? Is this just going to be a one-man band?
With the Texas Tech stuff?
The Texas Tech, is that all this is going to be about? Or will you see some others come up to the forefront, either players or coaches within the league? I mean, outside of them, is somebody who's going to draw the crowd? Who would you, if you were down there, who would you want to talk to the most there at Big 12 Media Days? The World Cup, you got some teams through into the quarterfinals. You've got the United States and Belgium tonight, Spain and Portugal this afternoon.
I never thought I'd watch as much soccer as I did over the 4th of July weekend. I watched more soccer than baseball. That game Friday was awesome. The game last night was awesome. I am entertained. Hope it continues tonight. Did you watch a lot of it?
A little bit. We were just... by the time I didn't really know when they were playing on Saturday. And so it was already over almost. It was just who played second? Was it Argentina that played the second game on Saturday?
I honestly can't remember. I just know on Saturday I had it pretty much on the background,
Right.
What we were doing.
We were outside.
But yesterday was my just relaxed
No,
day.
it was France. It was France and Paraguay.
Yeah.
That one was just finishing up when somebody wanted to watch it because we were all out in the pool. Nobody was really paying much attention. And then it got hot, and somebody was like, hey, how do you work your TV? I was like, oh, you got to go to YouTube. Oh, okay. And then looking for the soccer, but it was getting over. And then yesterday, we took Wyatt to Amarillo to the airport to fly up to see his dad for a few weeks. Did catch a bunch of the Norway-Brazil second half, or maybe the last half of the second half while we were eating. Holland is awesome. Is that how you say his name?
The dude
looks
from
like
Norway
Hagland, but it's Holland, I think.
looks like a freaking Viking out there.
Right?
That guy.
Where do you think they came from?
I know. That guy, he put himself up there with the big stars in this World Cup. The ones that you're familiar with, you better get used to this guy's name.
He kicked it through that dude's legs on the second one.
That was incredible.
So I watched a bunch of that one, then last night watched a little bit of it too. But yeah, I've been very entertained, very intrigued by what's going on at the World Cup. So we got that. We got the U.S. tonight against Belgium, 7 o'clock. And Flo Balogun will be on the field. You sent that to us yesterday. I had just seen it. And I thought, no way. This is a catfish. And then it was like Adam Schefter reporting. I'm like, what?
Hey, whoever gets it first, I guess.
And I was like, okay, yeah, this is real. This isn't just a...
Yeah, Scotty didn't believe it either. So I'm looking right at the app.
Yeah, like this is ESPN. So how surprised were you when you saw that he was going to be allowed to play? Is it even a good look? I mean, there's people that are not happy about this.
I have a theory why.
Not happy. Not happy. So we got that. And then how was your weekend with your 4th of July? How'd your food go? And now what's next? What's next to look forward to for us? 225-9698 is the phone or the text line. It is 225-9698. Give us a call, shoot us a text. We can talk about any of those things or whatever else might be on your mind. Feel free to chime right in at 225-9698. If you're going to be outside the listening area, a couple ways to stay in touch with the show. You can log on to kadsam.com or you can download the app. Paragon app's got it all. The radio stations, it's got the Penny News, a brand new edition of the Penny News. Hit the website tomorrow night at midnight. So go check it out at thepennynews.com. And every week we get closer and closer to being back on Big Elk and Paragon TV. With the school season starting. Drove by the football field again yesterday. Coming right along. Our new digs. Can't wait to see what that's going to be about once we get a little bit closer and get into the football season. So that's coming. And, of course, the Skinny on Sports podcast. You can go back and listen if you miss a show anywhere podcasts dropped. How are you today, Jared Atha?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. How was your weekend?
It was very fun. A lot of food, a lot of fireworks, family, friends. It was very American. I enjoyed it. How about you?
Yeah, same.
Everybody at your house, right? In the pool?
Mm-hmm.
Hanging
Yeah,
out?
on Saturday. We had a good crew come by and hang out, and then we were treated with a little bit of a fireworks show. It wasn't from the neighbor I thought it was going to be.
KJ, wasn't it?
It wasn't KJ. Actually, I think they did have some also over at he wasn't at his house, so we could see him easy right across the alley there at Rusty's. But then our neighbors, front yard neighbors, shot off a bunch of fireworks, and it was perfect because it would get just high enough to get over the house where we could see them from the
See
pool.
it from your backyard.
Yeah, you see it,
cool.
and then somebody east of us was putting on a solid display with some of the bigger boom, you know. I don't know how far over there it was. I don't think it was clear to Canute, but it was somewhere.
Well, that's the thing about Canute is
It was somewhere out there.
every time we buy fireworks, I think, did I buy enough? Did we get enough? We bought just the right amount for my girls. Not the real big boom ones, but the sparklers and the fountains and, stuff like that. And then we can just sit in our backyard and just watch everyone else blow theirs up because they always get the big ones, all over town.
There was some around the lake, on the backside of the lake. It was really good. And what was kind of cool on the ones that way, kind of south and southwest, was you also had the lightning going on.
Right,
at the same
exactly.
time.
There's
So
that. It's like straight east of us.
Yeah.
We got that. We could look forever east. In fact, from my backyard, I could see the Clinton Water Tower. That's how far I can see, and you could see that lightning. It was obviously at a safe distance, and watching the fireworks. So it's kind of double fireworks show. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was panoramic. We couldn't see Elk City, city of Elk City, because the houses are in the way. And we didn't make the effort to go drive the golf carts onto the golf course. A lot of times in the past I've done that. Drive up on the hill on 16 Green, and you can see.
Yeah, I bet.
You can see all of them from there, everything from there. But we just stayed in the pool, so it was so nice. Sad news to report. The brisket wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
Oh, darn it. Why?
It took a little bit longer to cook than normal. It might have been a little bit bigger. There's a chance I trimmed too much of the fat.
Yeah, you want some fat on there.
But I think the major problem was because I put it on at 6.
And how many hours?
I smoked it for 12 hours.
Wow.
Which seems too much, but the internal temp was where it was supposed to be. But it didn't. But because of that, it didn't rest. I think that was the major issue.
You didn't have time for it to rest.
It didn't have time to relax and rest, and so therefore I think it was a little bit less tender than it needed or would have been.
Right.
But everybody was getting hungry. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I guess I should, from now on, what I'm going to do? I'm just going to make doubly sure it's going to be done.
With enough time.
And let it rest.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge hunk of meat. It's going to be able to, I've read you can let those things sit in coolers for 5, 6, 7 hours, and it's still warm and when you cut into it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm just going to have to do. Because don't want to do this again. Yeah, I mean, I was up at like 4:30.
Yeah.
To light get the Yoder started, and it was on at 6, but it just didn't quite work out. It was good. It just wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't as good as it's needed to be, or it would have been.
Well, you're a perfectionist, I think, when it comes to that. You said it was good. And did anyone go, Aaron's not your best effort? Anyone say anything?
No, nobody would say that. They're like, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Listen, they don't have to tell me. I know.
Based on how much leftovers there are?
I know how it's fine. You can say it's good even though it's not. I mean, it was all right. But I'll tell you what was good, though. I made this smoked queso.
Ooh, yeah.
Now that was good.
Good.
Just put it out there. I had some sausage that I browned up with Velveeta and Gouda cheese, Rotel, a cream of mushroom. That was good. I think the smoked mac and cheese I made, if I would have timed it better, would have been good.
Yeah.
Just didn't time it right. So it was because the brisket I cooked it way too soon. I should have waited 2 hours to cook that.
I did the smoked mac and cheese, and mine was, I told Allie, it looks like I need 2.5 hours for this thing. I need about 30 minutes to prep it, to get it all ready, and then like an hour and a half on the smoker, add some more stuff, another 30 minutes. So I need about 2. So you need to tell me what time I need to start prepping for when I pull it off, we eat. And she did, and we did, and it was good. It was a new recipe I tried. It came out, I thought it tasted good. But yeah, so.
Yeah, mine just sat around. It sat around too long, and the creaminess sort of went away.
Yeah, we got it off. It was steaming and creamy and all that.
Yeah, I think that it would have been a
little crunch on top. You know, I part of that process was smashed up, a cup of smashed up Cheez-Its. And I got the extra toasted Cheez-Its. And I layered the top with that. That went with the last 30 minutes.
See, I've seen that with like Cheetos.
Yeah, I'm sure you could do anything.
Crunching up Cheetos.
Yeah.
I've never seen the Cheez-Its, but that makes sense.
Yeah. It was good. Earlier in the day, because we didn't really eat a lunch, it was more of we had dips and snacks and stuff. I made the smoked, or the burn-in hot dogs. The thing was, they're out of the jumbo all-beef hot dogs, which I'm not blaming anybody. It's 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure hot dogs were at a premium. But I didn't have the big ones, so they were smaller. But they still tasted good. That's kind of fun to do, to cook those. It's real quick and easy. And you're basically making little smokies. And what's cool is, I followed the recipe to a T. But then I thought, well, I could put any flavor of barbecue sauce I want on here. And I can make them spicy if I wanted to, So I just went with the Head Country original. I did a little sriracha in there to add a little bit of spice, not too much for my kids would go, I can't eat this. And then like rub. But that was something different. I've never tried to do that. That was really good too. I'm interested to, you know what, our listeners need to tell us what they did. I'd love to know what the menu was for everybody else.
I would too, except for, something's wrong with this computer. It's 2 days in a row.
Is it crashing again?
It says your device ran into a problem, needs a restart. We're just collecting some error information.
Who's we?
I don't know. I hope it's Dennis.
Me too.
You got that commercial we run.
Hey,
you tell us it's Dennis.
Dennis, is our computer about to crash? Do we need to clone it over?
Yeah.
Haven't had a call yet.
Yeah, waiting on to see.
Waiting for ITL to light up the phone over there.
I better just not touch it this time. It's already tried once, and then I touched something to skip disk checking. Uh-oh. I didn't hit a button in time. ETA. Hope that's not an hour 26. Hope that's a minute 26.
Can you do anything while it's doing that?
I don't know. I'm not touching it. I better just let it do what it's going to do.
Yeah, and get the fire extinguisher ready.
Otherwise, we may just be in a constant loop of the same thing happening.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so what did everybody else cook and was it success throughout the weekend of 4th of July, of the stuff, and it was a cool weekend. The 250, 50th year of the country, all the things that went along with that. Thought it was really, really cool across this great nation.
It was neat. It was neat.
It was. Now what are we looking forward to next?
Like holidays?
Or whatever. What's the next thing you're looking forward to?
Tonight.
The game.
The game. I mean, that's on, and then vacation in a couple weeks.
Yeah, when are you leaving? Got to get that nailed down.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. You're not going to be here for the fishing derby?
No, and I don't plan that. It's just, I'm not the one.
Okay. I didn't realize
how it works is.
I didn't realize. I did know this, but it just now occurred to me that Wild Plum Jam is the night before the fishing derby.
Right. My wife comes to me and said, actually, I went to her last year. I said, we need to do something different because we always went to Florida, which we love. That area we found, we love going there, and we'll be back. But I said, let's switch it up. I say, I think the girls are big enough for a cruise. Let's look into cruises. Well, she found one, and she goes, what dates? I said, whatever you do, not the last Saturday of June.
Yeah.
That is my no-fly zone. I can't go anywhere. Nobody can go anywhere. That's the golf tournament, obviously. That week is no. Because she's even said, well, what if we get back before that Saturday? It's like, no, that whole week, I got to be here. So she finds this date, and I don't cue her in like, hey, that's the fishing derby. But nothing against the fishing derby. It's just not as important as the golf tournament. But no. But next year, though, I can promise you I'll be here for the fishing derby because we are now learning that we need to have vacation during what is known as Dead Week. So we're not missing sporting activities for now our junior high kid.
Yeah, Jared. Yeah.
Didn't think of that last year. We booked this thing like well over a year in advance.
It's a different one. It is different. There's no doubt about it.
So Dead Week is actually right after the golf tournament week. So it might turn in like as soon as I'm done with the golf tournament, I'm hopping on a plane somewhere.
Yeah, like last week. It's Dead Week.
Yep. That's what it was. Didn't they change that? Wasn't it a different week last year?
It's always around 4th of July.
Is it that week? Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought it was a week after last year.
Looks like it might. I mean, depending on when the 4th was. I think the 4th was like Friday last year. So it might have been that. I mean, it's always right around there. I'd love to see if anybody's commenting on the text line. I just can't do it yet. 225-9698. I don't know what's happening. Just the same things happening over and over. It'll look like it's going to be on, and then it won't be. Okay. Well, we got Fishing Derby coming up July the 18th. Wild Plum Jam over in Sayre, July the 17th.
I thought this was a slow time of the year.
Pat Green, Casey Donahue, Presley Hale, Tyler Wilhelm. That is Friday, July the 17th. Gates open at 5. The music starts at 6. General admission is $40. Tickets going fast. Get yours on KECOFM.com. Then, of course, the Kids Fishing Derby is the very next day. It's Saturday, the 18th, 8 o'clock, 8A. It's when the Kids Fishing Derby gets. There's always, we give away some T-shirts, but you better get there early. You only get like 100. Baits provided by Totally Outdoors. We got some rods and reels to give away. We've got those. The wildlife department always helps us out a little bit with rods and reels. If you don't have one, Teddy's Glass and Window Tint is helping us out this year. We appreciate everybody there. Get the fishing started at 8 o'clock till noon. We got the Teddy's Glass and Window Tint Family Day in the park with the putt-putt and the carousel. No registration is required. Just show up and fish. $100 big fish, 35-plus tagged fish, and then I think Lipscomb is $100 every hour for the biggest fish. There's
that's a good deal.
All kinds of stuff going on. Lifetime fishing license available with different contests. I think there's 5 of those, I believe, that'll be there this year. So yeah, lots of great fun coming up with. And then there's some other things later on in July that we can talk about as well. Let's take a break. Give my computer a chance to do whatever it's doing and see if it's going to come back to life. Then we'll talk soccer in the U.S. and red cards and what all that means for tonight's game against Belgium. Skinny on Sports taking out here on the Rother Brothers Monday on 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal.
Rother Brothers Equipment in Clinton is now hiring well-qualified service technicians. If you have 2 or more years of experience repairing heavy agricultural equipment, strong troubleshooting skills, and the ability to read hydraulic and electrical schematics, this could be a great fit for you. Benefits include 401k with profit sharing, 100% employee-paid health insurance with eye and dental, paid vacation, holidays, uniforms, and paid service training. This is a great earnings opportunity for qualified candidates. Apply in person at Highway 183 North in Clinton, Oklahoma. Rother Brothers Equipment.
The Skinny on Sports.
Welcome back, Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal, hanging out here on a Rother Brothers Monday. Big thank you to our friends over at Rother Brothers, Highway 183, just north of Clinton. Rother Brothers offers a variety of agricultural and outdoor power equipment that is second to none in all the great state of Oklahoma. Not a friendlier or more knowledgeable staff than the one at Rother Brothers. Happy to help you find either the perfect piece of equipment, the parts that you've been looking for. They got it all there at Rother Brothers. So, World Cup is now winding down the, I guess, quarterfinal, round of 16. Getting that wound down here as we're making our way through into just about the quarterfinal round. Tonight, or today, you get Spain and Portugal. It's like 2 o'clock. And then 7 o'clock, the United States and Belgium. Most of the knockout stage rounds, the first 2, we've gotten really good matches so far. I think, gosh, what was it? Morocco beat Canada 3-0. France might have whipped somebody the first match pretty good. I can't remember who that was. But, for the most part, though, every match has been pretty competitive, down to the wire, 1 goal, back and forth. I guess the U.S. won 2-0. That was one of the – that's what's crazy. A 2-0 was one of the bigger discrepancies out there so far in these matches that are win or go home. And I think it's the numbers are proving it. As far as the TV, I mean, Fox is shattering World Cup ratings throughout this entire tournament. So, I mean, so far so good, I would say, going into tonight where, I mean, it's probably has a chance to be the highest-rated U.S. soccer game of all time.
Probably. I'm anxious to see what last night's looked like between Mexico and England. It was just pure entertainment. So, and that's, I think, why we're seeing ratings that high too, is because, like you said, the games have been very entertaining, and you got popular countries still in this thing. Obviously, the good ones in soccer are like France and Spain, and then when America's in this thing, it moves the needle. It's like, in this very country, and when USA is hosting it, it's everybody's kind of catching on and paying attention and tuning in. So, yeah, it's you would think that was a given going into this thing, that the ratings were going to be pretty good because of where it's being hosted, and then on top of that, it really helps that USA is actually not bad. they're not like France good, but they're not bad. So you can see them winning tonight, and then who knows what happens against the opponent on Friday afternoon. It's been a really entertaining World Cup. I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I would say that, we were kind of kidding about this thing going in, like, okay, here we go. We got to put up with about a month and a half of this stuff. But now I'm checking the schedule every day, who's playing today, what time, all of that. It's been very fun. So what'd you think when you saw the news yesterday? The red card rescinded. What was your first reaction when you got that news? Because I thought going in, I thought the chances of it actually happening were very slim. That is what it is. It's concrete. They're not going to do anything. But what stuck to me was when you said that particular type of play could not be reviewed by that VAR system, and they did it anyways. I thought, oh, that's not good. If they can, why are they allowing that to happen?
Yeah, I still haven't seen exactly what the reasoning was. The one thing that was brought up in the aftermath the following day was that on ESPN, that article that the former referee wrote about how they didn't follow the right protocols.
Yeah.
Of using the VAR system. And that could be, sort of the gateway to something happening like what we saw. I'm still not even sure if that's what happened. Obviously the news is out there that Trump called FIFA to get them to look at it. That's pretty funny if that's true.
You see what Clay Travis tweeted? I'll have to find it to read it to you word for word, but he said, according to sources, Trump had some very high, powerful lawyers ready to go and called FIFA and told him, you guys need to look at this again. If not, I got some guys that will. And he got the ball rolling on that deal.
So is that a good?
That's the funny
good?
thing. No, but that's what I'm saying is when there's about a 30-minute to an hour window where it was released that the red card's rescinded, he's going to play. And they were like, oh, hey, oh, all right, hey. And then once that news broke, suddenly you start seeing the anti-Trump reaction to it.
Oh well, and see that's where where I'm like, okay, did that really happen, or is that just a way? Because like we talked about, this is definitely the Libbies like this sport. So is this a way for them to get mad about what happened?
Yeah,
and that's the easiest way to do it. There's an article right here on ESPN right now. Is nobody wins.
And consider your source there, ESPN.
But I'm not. If Trump really strong-armed FIFA to get the guy to play, I don't think that's good. I don't disagree with this article. That's not. That's messing with the fabric of what everything is. He's not gambling on it, but he's changing the rules.
Did you see the AI GIF, whatever?
Oh, yeah. He
pulls out the Trump card.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling it now? The Trump card? I love it. You got a red card? Oh, I got one bigger. It's called the Trump card.
It's all funny, but here's the deal. If it had been somebody else, like let's say Belgium, let's say Lukaku would have got the red card. Now he gets to play. Everybody would be mad.
Oh, yeah.
On the American side. So that's where, and then you see all these tweets like zero. Since the introduction of yellow and red cards at the 1970 World Cup, no player has ever received a red card and gone on to play in his team's next match. Well, that's going to change tonight, apparently. And maybe the part of it that's maybe bugging me is this will be all anything's talked about.
I've noticed that they are being very careful in their pregame, postgames talk. I think FIFA went to him and said, don't you dare criticize our decision. They're not even talking about it.
Well, no, because everybody knows it's wrong if that's what really happened. If Trump called them and got them to change it, everybody knows it's wrong. This has never happened. But it is what it is. It's happening tonight. I'm just, instead of what has been the story around the U.S., And that's, man, these guys are actually a better team than they've ever been. They sort of look the part as far as a quality World Cup type team. Now, with this overturned ruling, that's all anyone's going to remember about the U.S.'s run, and especially if they win. They're like, oh, they'd have never won that one without him. You know, it was more. It really had more of the American underdog story going into tonight if Balogun couldn't play, instead of now. You take all that out, like, oh yeah, won it without him. Win one for the Gipper. That way, Balogun can play on Friday. And instead, the Don. Okay. I don't know. I see I can get why people are mad. Totally get why people are mad about this. And I don't necessarily disagree with him being mad. Having said that, he's going to play. So does that, I was going to look at the odds. Because it was pretty well a pick'em when nobody thought he was going to play.
Right.
Let's see if we can find those right quick. Where do those set right now? I bet it's normally right here on this page. There we are. Plus 145. U.S. plus 145. So that means they're an underdog. That's strange. Yeah, that's right, AJ. He could choose not to play, and while that does feel like a noble response, I mean, we all know there's zero chance that's going to happen. Would that bother you? Would that bother you if that happened?
If you chose not to play?
Uh-huh.
Listen, if I'm told, hey, you can play in the World Cup, thought you weren't, but now you can. It's up to you. Okay, let me think about this. The biggest sporting event that happens every 4 years in my home country.
I mean, that's.
I'm sorry. I'm playing.
Yeah.
You play to win. I mean, you are a competitor at the highest level of soccer.
Yeah. There's no way
he's not going to play.
That's right.
So if you didn't, I'd be like, dude, you could have played, and you're choosing not to. Where's your competitive spirit, bro? Where's your patriotism?
Or hey, great job, Flo Balogun. You did the right thing. There's always that. U.S. are plus 145, Belgium plus 185, draw plus 240. So U.S. is slightly a favorite with what we've seen here. Over under 2.5 goals. U.S. plus or minus 0.5 and 140 for that. It's hard to get these two in any games hasn't gone well for the U.S. I mean, they played a friendly in March, the end of March, and Belgium won 5-2. Last time the U.S. was in the round of 16, Belgium beat them 2-1 back in 2014. Yes, they've 5 matchups. They've only won the one and back in the group stage of the 1930 World Cup. Been a while. 96 years.
Where's the 1930 World Cup?
Uruguay. It was the first World Cup.
That was the first one.
That was the first one. It's the only time in the last 5 meetings we've beaten Belgium. But here we are tonight. The chance to do it. How much does the first game interest you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it does.
Spain and
Portugal. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for obvious reasons of it could potentially, if things go well tonight for the Americans, it's their next opponent. So, yeah, you're going to want to watch that. And then Spain. Spain has always been traditionally good. But you never know in this World Cup. I mean, we almost had Cape Verde beating Argentina the other night.
No,
which was such an incredible game.
That's the thing about a lot of the stuff that's gone on is you have the powers that are traditional powers that are still playing or were playing, but a bunch of them are like on big time skids. Like Brazil went out yesterday.
Yeah.
They haven't won since 2002.
They had to come back to beat Japan. They were dominated by Norway. Let's face it, they were dominated. But when I say dominated, analytically looking at the time of possession and momentum meter and all that stuff that they throw up there, it was dominated by Norway.
Well, just different.
It is usually that swings Brazil's way.
Yeah, but they're out. Norway. I mean, here's the deal. This is pretty obviously there's a storyline developing, and it is. Europe is king of soccer right now.
I thought that too when England won last night with basically 10 guys that entire second half.
I mean, you look at who's already through.
As soon as it was over, I thought this is Europe puffing out their chest a little bit.
Well, they're going to have at minimum half of the final 8. Right? Yeah. At minimum, because they've already got France, Norway, and England. So they got 3 of the 4 that have made it right now, and Portugal and Spain. Somebody's gonna have to win that one. So there's 4. Belgians have a chance to make it 5, and then Switzerland could make it 6. Would we consider them? I mean, Switzerland's Europe.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, yeah, they could possibility of 6 of the 8.
When I went to Europe the summer after my junior year, we flew into Switzerland and then got on a train and went everywhere. And we flew out of Switzerland. So, yeah, it's definitely Europe.
Yeah. It is. I mean, Norway is. Switzerland is.
Totally.
I mean, they all are in the continent. Yeah, it's been a European flavor for sure. Isn't that ironic? All the Euros that are coming over here discovering America is awesome when they've been told it's not, and now the Europeans on the pitch are dominating.
Which isn't a shock to me. it's been a shock to the Europeans at discovering America. We knew they were going to be good at soccer.
Some of them. I think of it as more South American. The Argentinas, Brazils.
You'd think, yeah, and then being
France,
on this side of the world that this might be an opportunity. Thought Mexico was about to go on a run, and then disastrous 2-0 start for England last night. They gave an effort to come back, but and Argentina's still in it. But on this side of But now the other guys from across the pond are looking pretty good.
Yeah, it was a cool story that the 3 hosts made it into the round of 32, or I guess the quarterfinal. No, we're not. Quarterfinal's the next time. Round of 16. All of them, all the hosts not only made it through the group stages, but won a match in the knockout round. And if the U.S. didn't pull through tonight, that's all for naught. All 3 would be out. We're getting down to the round of 16. Or getting down to the quarterfinals, I'm sorry. See, it's messing me up. Which round we're in, because there's a new round. Right? Like there was more games in the first one. Used to just go 32, 16, 8, boom. Now there's 48. And anyways, here we are. We are in the round of 16 right now. Looking to make it into the quarterfinals.
Still feels like France and everybody else.
Yeah, although just 1-0 against Paraguay,
Yep.
do we use the transitive property and say, if we play France, we do 3-1?
Win's a win. I think it's just soccer, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I look at the other side of the bracket. England was impressive. They were calm when they got down to 10 guys. Made that valiant effort by England there at Mexico in extra time. Just trying to put one in the back of the net, couldn't do it.
It's only like the second time they've lost.
I say I was not. That Argentina game, now that one we need to raise a red flag for.
People thought that.
Right.
But there's a lot of chatter, and probably not yet, and it may not be till later. But there's a lot of the soccer, Twitter soccer, that is poo-pooing everything that Argentina has done because of how weak their group was, and even moving forward. Cape Verde, like the third smallest country ever to make it. Now Egypt. Not a lot of respect for Egyptian soccer out there outside of Mo Salah. Then it'll be either Switzerland or Colombia. I mean, like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, they got a cakewalk to the semis with where they happen to be in the bracket, and then maybe Norway or England can finally give them an actual match. It does look kind of, I mean, it does look a little bit weaker than others. There's no doubt about that. But it's the luck of the draw sometimes. Mm-hmm. And there's, of course, there's always the conspiracy of, well, FIFA set it up that way for Messi because he's their golden child.
Already hearing retirements being announced. So Neymar yesterday said he's done. Makes you wonder how much left does Messi have?
Well, you wouldn't. I mean, of course, you'd have thought he might do it last time when they won,
right?
But God, you'd think he would this time. Oh no, maybe he plays. I mean, the way he plays is a lot more about skill than athleticism and strength, and he can just carry on for longer.
There's a wide range of age in this World Cup. There's a 17-year-old last night for the Mexicans. I've seen guys in their 40s, who look like they're
on
still
that
in
team.
their 20s. But that's the thing about soccer is you can
for a little bit.
Yeah, it's not as. I mean, I say it's not as violent. You see some tumbles and some legitimate tackles, not the flopping kind, but the running I think is. And I'm no kinesiologist, but I think that's just more it prolongs your career. You can run forever and run, and anyways, I'm blabbering now, but that's what I think is kind of fascinating is you see some really young guys in this thing, and then some really old, experienced guys who realistically you could think, well, you could see them in another 4 years.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about this deal, because you kind of get to know who's who, and if you don't realize how old they are, you just kind of take it as a given that, oh yeah, they'll be in the next one of these. Well, it's 4 years away,
right?
And so will they?
But that is what's giving a lot of hope for American soccer, is that these guys are young. And I think everybody was like, it's kind of like the Thunder. It's like, oh, well, they're a year away. We were saying that a couple years ago. It's like, well, this team, this is going to get their feet wet. And then in 4 years, they could be good. Well, here they are doing this, and it kind of gets you real excited about the next World Cup. Like, okay, they made a good showing in 26. They'll be more experienced between now and then. Who knows? And this goes back to that respect thing, too. Like, we're kind of floundering around as a nation to try to put something together, something respectful together to show the world what soccer looks like in America. And we would always kind of fall on our faces, it felt like, more often than not. And now it's like, okay, I think now, outside this red card thing, take that away. But before that, it was like, this team, okay. The Americans are figuring this soccer thing out. Now let's see if they can hold it together despite whatever happens in the rest of this tournament. Can they hold it together? Can they develop and improve on what's already pretty good going into the next 4 years? And that's what's going to be exciting. Now I'm excited to see what the next 4 years looks like for American soccer, for this team, for this national team.
Yeah. We'll find out tonight, 7 o'clock. Can they keep it going and get into the quarterfinals with the win over the Belgians? When we come back, Big 12 Media Days gets rolling tomorrow. Talk a little bit about that. Skinny on Sports on Rother Brothers Monday.
Rother Brothers Equipment in Clinton is now hiring well-qualified service technicians. If you have 2 or more years of experience repairing heavy agricultural equipment, strong troubleshooting skills, and the ability to read hydraulic and electrical schematics, this could be a great fit for you. Benefits include 401k with profit sharing, 100% employee paid health insurance with eye and dental, paid vacation, holidays, uniforms, and paid service training. This is a great earnings opportunity for qualified candidates. Apply in person at Highway 183 North in Clinton, Oklahoma. Rother Brothers Equipment.
The Skinny on Sports.
Welcome back, Skinny on Sports, 98.1 FM, the Sports Animal, wrapping up a Rother Brothers Monday. Big thank you to Mike and the gang at Rother Brothers, Highway 183, just north of Clinton. Told you all about the equipment and the parts. Don't forget about the Yoder grills. Fantastic pellet grills that are available also there at the Rother Brothers, Highway 183, just north of Clinton. Big 12 Media Day starts tomorrow, Jared. It's going to be a 2-day event. Half of the conference on Tuesday, half of the conference, the other half of the conference on Wednesday. Number 4, the mess that is this computer in front of me had happened. I do know that you've got Oklahoma State and Tech are both in the Tuesdays. The Tuesday list. So that obviously means, there's others. But is this going to be, in your mind, just the Texas Tech show and everybody else? Not only because Tech feels like they're going to be the favorite to win the conference again this year, but of course with what happened with Sorsby.
Yeah, that's gonna be the number one talking point. Not just the questions being asked to Texas Tech representatives, but throughout the league is what you think about this and get that opinion from everybody. But I think there are other storylines in this conference that need to be addressed, and they will be addressed. There's professional media members there that aren't just going to stick to one topic. I mean, it's crazy. Like tomorrow,
are we sure?
Well, I say professional. There's going to be other yahoos, but tomorrow OSU is there, Texas Tech is there, and by the way, Deion Sanders will be there with Colorado. I mean, he always has something to say, and he'll probably get a large contingent of media attention. So, but no, that is obviously the number one story going in. But then the next should be there's a lot of new coaches in this league. Let's talk to them. There's obviously locally at OSU what's happening in Stillwater with the new coach and a ton of new players. What are they going to look like? Let's pick their brain. Let's talk to them. And then, of course, the contenders. Tech, I think, is still a contender in this league. Whoever's taking the snaps at quarterback. But who else is behind them? Can BYU do it again? Look really good like they did last season? Can they get over the hump? You mentioned OSU, the mystery there. Are they a top 5 team in this league with the new personnel? And if you're top 5, you could probably sneak into the top 2 and play for a conference title. There's, again, a lot of changeover, stuff like that. What's Utah? Can Utah bounce back? Obviously, again, new coach. So there are other storylines that will be talked about, but that one's going to get the main headlines.
Yeah,
everything you click on.
It's going to dominate.
Yeah.
And I think you made a really good point. It's not only are those questions going to be fired out there at the Tech guys and their group that's going to be there. I think especially coaches are going to have to answer those same questions about, what would you do? And You know, it really kind of puts some. It has the potential to put them in a bad spot if something happens later. Well, this is what you said when it was Tech, you know, and so there's a little bit of that possibility. It sure feels like Tuesday's group is a lot more of the headliners. Arizona State, Baylor, but then BYU, who is one of the favorites. UCF, Colorado with Dion. Houston, I talked about them. I think they're I think they're not even a dark horse or a sleeper, but just maybe in that second tier of contenders that can absolutely vault up and be in the mix for the Big 12 title. Oklahoma State and their unknown, and then Tech. You know, to me, if you said, all right, which day is going to have the eventual conference champ, I would pick Tuesday over Wednesday for sure. But yeah, we'll get to talk to, or they'll get to talk to. You hear sound bites coming out from Drew Mestemaker and Caleb Hawkins on the OSU side. Obviously, the Tech guys, but then you got Connor Wegman still at Houston, a very, very veteran type guy. You know, Julian Lewis, the quarterback. It's maybe looks like going to be the quarterback at Colorado. He was highly recruited, so can he get things back toward what we saw with Shadur? And not what we saw last year, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like get that rolling. Bear Bachmeyer at BYU, and then a familiar name that I wonder how many people realize he went to Baylor is DJ Lagway.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, and how the promise that we saw from him at different times at Florida never was able to put it together. And so then you get that, and. Yeah, so you can kind of look down through here. Most of the schools have a quarterback coming, and the ones that don't probably tells you either they weren't comfortable with a decision that had been made, or maybe just weren't comfortable with bringing. I don't blame. If Sorsby was here, was still around, he would obviously be at these meetings.
Yeah.
But since that's...
What's nuts, like some schools are bringing 7.
Right.
And some schools are bringing like 3 guys. Like West Virginia, just 3 guys. But then like Arizona, 7 guys that they're bringing. Noah Fafita,
yeah,
still there.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still rocking it. If it was you and you were there, who would you want to talk to?
Because he's going to give you the best soundbite, probably Deion Sanders immediately. But he's already kind of give us his opinion of this Orsby situation. And there's going to be, and I'll say this, I think there are a lot of coaches that are going to say, I already told you what I thought about that when that came out. I want to talk about my team. I bet there's going to be a lot of deflection.
I'll guarantee you're going to hear that.
Yeah. No, we don't need to talk to Eric Morris. He's a friend of the show. We don't need to talk to him.
Already done that.
We've already talked to him. But maybe I do want to talk to Mestemaker and Hawkins.
Mm-hmm.
And ask them, hey, how do you guys feel like it's going to work here in Stillwater? It worked really well down in Dallas. Can it work here? And get their thoughts on this whole process. I'm sure it's been a whirlwind for them since he was hired and they were brought up with him. So, love to get some sound bites from them about that. Totally.
Question on the text line: Who will be the quarterback for Tech? It's Will Hammond. It's either
got a depth chart there. I don't know.
Will Hammond or Kirk Francis. Now, Kirk Francis is the name that folks in Oklahoma will recognize. He played 3 seasons at Tulsa. He started some games at Tulsa, Oklahoma High School. Was he Metro? Maybe Metro Christian. He was a Tulsa area high school, and then played at TU. Now came out to Tech, as I'm sure they're as insurance / depth, and now he may be in a battle as Hammond tore his ACL. Missed spring practice, but expected to be cleared by the time camp opens up in August. So that I think most observers think it's going to be Will Hammond, but you never know. As Kirk Francis is at least on the depth chart and in the running for that job out there at Texas Tech as the quarterback. So lots of there. I think you're right. I think there's way more storylines in the Big 12 than will be explored at Big 12 Media Day, because it's going to be a lot of people's first crack at the Tech guys, Joey McGuire. I'm actually surprised they're there on Tuesday and not Wednesday. I'm actually surprised they're not the very last people to go on Wednesday. That way it keeps everybody there longer and keeps more attention on the conference. Mm-hmm. Waiting. Maybe they thought, well, if we don't run him till Wednesday, then nobody will show up Tuesday. There's always those. I know the SEC schedule was put out for their media days coming up, and Texas and LSU are on the last day. It keeps everybody there.
That makes sense.
Keeps everybody there longer. So that. And maybe if you're the Big 12, you want to just rip the Band-Aid off as fast as you can do it down here and then start talking about something other than that, hopefully, by the time this is over.
It was Texas Tech's request.
Could be.
Just put us on the first day, the first group out there, so we can get this done with. So it's not a circus the whole time we're there.
Very well could be a request by Tech. Very well could have been. Because Joey McGuire's tired of talking about it. Mm-hmm. The players are probably tired of talking about it. And probably thinking, okay, this will be one of the last times we really do have to deal with this. It's going to be tomorrow. And then, you can just hear it. Okay, I'm going to make a statement, take some questions. After that, we're talking about football. You can hear that phrase being uttered right now. Whether or not that works or not remains to be seen. And I do think it probably helps a little bit for Tech's contingent to the fact that Scoresby isn't there anymore. If this was still hanging over this, if his eligibility was still a story and a question mark, it may not be quite as circusy as we think, because there has been a resolution, and it's a resolution that I think a lot of the media people would prefer, as opposed to one that allows him to play. So that could kind of take some of the steam out of this stuff, but there's still going to be questions about it. We all know that. But maybe this really will be the final time this season where it's totally addressed. Like, okay, he's not here, move on.
Right.
We're going to do something. We're going to talk about something else. But yeah, Big 12 Media Day. It feels like when you start seeing these media days, it's always sometime in July, middle to end of July. To me, that's sort of the unofficial, not start of college football, but okay, we're zooming on into it now.
Yeah.
When the media days start happening, we're not that far away from fall camp.
Yeah, media days, and then you start getting your preseason polls, your official ones, not your opinion ones, your official ones. And yeah, it just kind of like an appetizer. Then we get our salad, and then our main course is coming. On Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, it's close. This is when you know. Almost made it. We've almost made it through the dog days of summer.
Almost.
When you get to the talking season.
Hey, shout out to Chris Goddard.
Yeah.
The John Deere Classic. I was able to tune in to watch his final 2 holes.
Yeah, he's heading over to Scotland to defend his title at the Scottish Open a year ago.
He's been playing good lately.
Pretty crazy rise over the last year. Everybody have a wonderful Rother Brothers Monday.
You've been listening to the Skinny on Sports podcast with Aaron Cow. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to get alerts of when the latest podcast is available. Thanks for listening.